Hi, I'm Amy. Welcome to Art Conspiracy. If you're here based on the title of this video, you might have found yourself getting into some trouble with your art. Uh, I'm sure you have. We all do. Anyway, I have a piece I'm working on, and I have a big mistake that I have to fix, and I'm not worried about it at all. And I thought I'd share the process with you because it's a big correction, but totally doable. And I think the more times you get yourself out of trouble, the more fearless you're going to be because you're not worried about getting into trouble. And in fact, often the corrections are really interesting. They end up being part of the creative process and a part of the image, and they end up being interesting. Honestly, that is my experience. If you get it right too quick, sometimes it's kind of boring. So anyway, mix it up. Get in trouble. Get in good trouble. Okay, so let me show you what I am working on. Okay, so I was out on a field trip the other day, drawing temples and cool stuff. And anyway, I saw my friend here crouched over her painting supplies, and I just thought she was so cool. She makes this really beautiful, like triangular shape, and she's in this like nest of stuff. And I love all this activity down here, and then this big old wall of nothingness, sort of. But the more you look at it, the more there is. It's what I call dirty white. I love this idea. It's white, but you have to do stuff with it. It can't just be white. You can't just leave the paper. And in Thailand, also, there's a lot of weathering that goes on. And trust me, I have seen some really dirty walls. I might show you one before this video is out. I have a picture of one I took the other day that's like, what? Anyway, this one's only slightly dirty. But check it out. This is like a yellowy, warm texture on the wall. And then look, you get this incredible blue shadow and all this up here. I mean, I don't even know what all I'm going to do with the shadow part, but anyway, uh, I'm really excited about this idea of doing the wall, but it is my friend Winnie that's giving me trouble. So let me show you. Oh, that's not right. Okay, here we go. A different project. Here she is, somewhat abstracted. I drew this right then and there, I think, on location while we were there. She's become shapes, and she's got a paintbrush, so you can sort of, see what it is. But I also really, really simplified. And here's the wall. So that is what I'm going for. So let me show you where I am and what kind of trouble I got myself into. Okay, so here she is. Pretty good. Yeah. I mean, I think she's looking fine. I already have the wall kind of dirty. It's not done yet, and I can't wait to paint this wall. But in my rush to focus on the wall, I have made a big mistake here that I have to fix, and that is this. See her hand coming out? It like does not connect to her shoulder. Furthermore, if it did connect to her shoulder, it's way too long. Her arm is like a gorilla arm. I mean, it's just like way too long. I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry. Anyway, so I have to make a decision, right? I mean, I can't live with it because it's wrong. And I say, once you see something that's wrong, you got to move heaven and earth to fix it. You might as well. You might as well risk it all to fix it instead of living with something that is wrong. That'll haunt you. Anyway, so I could try to move the hand. I could with the hand, but she's painting. Like I've got this orchestrated. She's here painting. I don't want to change all that. That would be, I think, harder than changing this big area up here. So I'm going to move her torso, which are bigger shapes, and make it work with the hand that I already have. So that's my plan. And I can't do the wall until I make this correction because I'm going to have to use some of that wall texture to hide my correction. So you are going to see what I'm talking about in just a second. Okay, so my strategy when I'm making corrections like this is to make the correction, then hide what I need to hide of the old form. So I'm thinking, you know, how long does her arm need to be? So her shoulder might be here. Okay, so that's her new shoulder, which might make a little bit more sense. And I'm thinking elbow, I might change this angle slightly. I think her hand is a little oversized, but that's okay. So I'm going to change the shoulder, and I might not have to change that much, actually. Let's see. I'm going to bring this up. Yeah, there's not, maybe that's going to do it. I'm not even sure. Maybe I don't have to move her head at all. I thought I was going to have to do a whole new head, but maybe not. This is exciting. Okay, so I'm going to grab some of my blue, and luckily this correction is in the dark part here. So let's see what happens. I'm going to make this a little bit more. That was easy. See how it goes. Take it over. And I'm going to blot, get my tissue. You know, maybe I'm looking at it. Part of it may be just that if this is a little bit too big. Anyway, it feels better already. It doesn't feel like her arm is hugely too big. It's a little bit oversized. Okay, I'm also going to take a little bit of Chinese white here. So I wanted to show you how I was going to hide it. I made this too easy. So let's say I'm going to change this angle. Look at that. I just added a little Chinese white, and it's got a little blue on it. So I want it to be green. So I just added a little green, and I'm just going to blur that. There you go. It's green, a little heavier. Then I put some elsewhere, and I go away from that correction. And I'm leaving a little light around the top of the brush, which is kind of cool. So yeah, good enough. Now I can have fun with the dirty white. Yay. All right, let me scooch back up. And I want to show you, I'm doing all kinds of experiments. Here's my dirty white experiments to try to figure out, you know, how to do this. I have sort of some medium on here dried. I have some Chinese white that I put ahead of time to see if that would affect things. I'm using a loofah sponge. I'm using some of these guys. And I'm just playing because a lot of walls in Thailand look like this. So I'm just seeing, you know, what's possible. So since I made my corrections so darn easy, maybe I can just jump in and do this here while you're watching a little bit. I'm basically going to do warm, and then the shadow is going to be blue. And I'm not totally sure if I'm going to do all that fancy shadow stuff that I showed you. I want to keep it kind of simple. So I'm going to just grab a big old brush. Here's my biggest brush, and I'm just picking up my residue here because I want it to be light, and I want it to be a little bit warm. So it's almost a little greeny. That's okay. And I got my tissues handy because I want it to be really, wow. Now check it out. There's all kinds of texture in here because of all the stuff I did before. I'm gonna be careful here because this is a little bit wet. Whoop. But if it, you know, bleeds a little, look at this. This is great. So I wanted to read as a dirty textured wall rather than a green wall or a yellow wall or whatever. And I think I'm doing it. Look at that. Ooh, that is so cool. All right, let me try the blue. I'm gonna switch brushes. I could just clean out the other one, but I'm in a little bit of a hurry. And again, I'm gonna just go into my tray. I got some dirty colors in here. I don't need a lot. So, you know, these dirty, like residue, I call it residue. I think it's kind of gold, you know? All right, here we go. Whoa! This is the shadow. And you can see how I'm jogging it around that little architectural element. Oh yeah. Set. Even sort of rubbing it off unevenly. I think I could have more shadow. What do you think? A little bit more pigment. I'm going to take a card here. Gently scraping in a way that reinforces that edge, but also creates more texture. I like doing this. You got to have good paper though. I mean, good enough paper and be a little bit gentle. Look, oh, got a bloom here that I don't want. I'm gonna just mop it up while I can. Good enough. I think that looks pretty darn good. What do you think? Yeah, I have achieved dirtiness. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find that picture for you. Hey, and I'm back. You ready? Check this out. Oh my gosh. That is what I call dirty white. You know, call me crazy, but there's something really beautiful about that to me, you know, like, and trying to figure out how to do that. I mean, this is pretty extreme, but there's a lot of walls and a lot of beautiful texture here in Thailand. That's not so stark black and white, but it also has colors but it's this weathering of these surfaces. And I'm trying to incorporate that in my work. And it's really intriguing, but it's hard to do it with just paint. So I'm employing a bunch of strategies, like I said, scratching and rubbing in mediums and seeing what the heck I can do. Look at that. Dirty white. I mean, that's not nearly as extreme as what I showed you, but I'm on to something. Okay, that's it for now. Oh, the most important takeaway though is like, if something's wrong, fix it. As long as your paper holds out and there's breath in your body, you can cover it and layer it, get out the gouache, get out the Chinese white ink, whatever the heck it takes, you can cover it. There's no harm, no foul in getting out the mixed media. So until next time, Art Conspiracy. Bye.